We're going to look at this L'Hopital's rule problem, and if you pull up the textbook, you can see that if we have a function that's in an indeterminate form, so we did a couple of these in the beginning of calculus where we were able to factor and simplify. We also defined by the squeeze theorem, but it turns out we can apply L'Hopital's rule to the function, a limit where if we have an indeterminate form of 0 over 0 or infinity over infinity, then we can apply L'Hopital's rule and then take the limit on the top and limit on the bottom and see where that goes. So doing so on this problem, if you take the limit of, well, first the very first thing you have to do on L'Hopital's rule is verify that it is an indeterminate form. So if I plug in 0, I have e to the 0, which is 1, and then I have sine of 0, which is 0. So I have 1 minus 0 minus 1, which gives me 0 in the denominator. And if I plug in 0 in the numerator, I get 0. So this is of type 0 over 0. And so then I can apply L'Hopital's rule. And anytime you apply L'Hopital's rule, you have to state you're doing L'Hopital's rule. So L'Hopital's rule would state then the limit as x goes to 0, I could take the derivative of the top function. So I have the derivative of e to the x, which is e to the x, minus the derivative of sine, which is cosine, minus the derivative of 1, which is 0. So that's the numerator. And then the denominator is the derivative of the polynomial. So we get 4x cubed plus 9x squared plus 10x. So I took I applied L'Hopital's rule once, and if I plug in x goes to 0 again, I get e to the 0, which is 1, minus cosine of 0, which is 1. So I end up with 1 in the numerator again. If I plug in 0 in the denominator, I also end up with 0. So this is still type 0 over 0, so I can apply L'Hopital's rule again, and anytime I apply L'Hopital's rule, I state that I applied L'Hopital's rule. So I apply L'Hopital's rule. What am I left with? I'm left with the derivative of e to the x minus the derivative of cosine. The derivative of cosine is minus sine, so this would be e to the x plus sine of x all over then the derivative, which would be 12x squared plus 18x plus 10. Now if I plug in x going to 0, I see that I get e to the 0, which is 1, plus sine of 0, which is 1. So I'm left with, sine of 0 is 0, not 1. Cosine of 0 is 1. So I have 1 plus 0, which is 1. And then in the denominator, I have 0 plus 0 plus 10, which is 10. So to get points on a problem like this, if it was on an exam or something, you would definitely need to show that you verified it's an indeterminate form, you applied L'Hopital's rule once, got another indeterminate form, applied L'Hopital's rule again, and then you're able to evaluate it and you get the answer of 1 over 10. So sorry my writing was a little messed up. I had to use an older piece of technology. So if you guys have any questions on it, please keep me posted.